straight new wave. Name straight new wave.
so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss.
Look who's starting it all off. It's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through from Peyton. It's just going to solidify everything from Mythos.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKC, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Lores, you're going to be able to find these shots true.
Inu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes an athlete immediately goes back to fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2-3, so back and forth.
And welcome back, everybody, to Season 16 of CGL. My name is Musi. I'm joined here with Shadow Fang. And of course, we do have Hippie out there, our eye in the sky, making sure that everything is running smoothly and giving us all the visuals that we need. Shadow, I'm pretty pumped for this game today. We have Void Ravens versus Vesuvius. Both of these teams seem pretty on par, pretty level with each other, just kind of fighting for, as I understand it, kind of, you know, a seat at the table in the sense that everybody already has their spot at the table. They're just paying for some assigned seating.
Yeah, Void Ravens having 2 losses, Vesuvius only having the 1 loss. So I would say it's more important here for the Void Ravens. They can potentially get a little bit higher of a seed. Going to give you that pick priority as far as picking your opponents. So always super important in that regard. And especially here in the Masters tier, where it's usually a pretty tightly contested tier between low ground main and everybody else, you know? So
Say everybody's kind of like brawling over the same bowl of food, little bit of possessiveness going on here, even though, guys, there's plenty of food for everybody to go around, but it's not about the money, Batman. It's never about being able to eat. It's about winning. It's about being better than everybody else. And that, you know, feels to be what Void Ravens and Vesuvius are out here to do today. Just straight up wins it. And honestly, I'm really excited because once I heard that these teams are fairly equal ground, I feel like those always give the best types of games to watch, which, you know, usually that's like how games and competition works as a general rule. But, you know, hold on, hear me out. It's kind of, I'm curious to see what kind of gets pulled out in terms of like hero picks, especially, you know, as we start to gravitate towards, you know, certain maps and styles. What changes do teams make as time goes on? I think it's consistently been the most interesting thing to me when it comes to Overwatch 2, especially, of just, do you end up sticking the same plan, or is it better to, like, you know, kind of stay on your toes, as it were?
Well, and I mean, one of the big things that leads into those plans are the various maps that you can pick from, but you can't actually pick map number 1. Map number 1 is going to be set at Lijiang Tower, but from there on out, it's going to be pick your map mode and your map type if you're the loser. So Lijiang Tower, map 1. It's a very heavy brawl map. Usually. I will say I've seen a good number of teams like running that Winston dive this season. Dive is very, very strong right now, and especially in the Masters tier and above, I would expect to see more of that as opposed to the more brawly style Zarya comps that I've also been seeing a good bit.
I heard Lijiang Tower is very nice this time of year as well. Just, you know, the atmosphere, the aesthetics coming into fall, so just a lot to be seen here as we take a look here. Bans coming at you, Void Ravens thinking about it a little bit. There's a lot to see here, and kind of, you know, what comes to your mind as like, who do we need to take off the board first? Is it, you know, go straight for the throat, target bans, or just kind of play in safe waters?
I would say here, map number 1, you don't really know yet, so ban something that you don't want to see. I was actually going to say Diva, but Wrecking Ball is in that same vein. I mentioned it to you before we got on the call here. Wrecking Ball is very, very strong right now. You can just go into the back line, get 1,200 HP, spread that around to your teammates. It's incredibly strong. So getting rid of it early, not having to deal with it on a control map, very strong, especially because of those mines just covering up the entire field.
Especially Li Jing, like every single control has like a little section in the middle where like the ball can just kind of latch onto and be a menace. So taking that out of the equation makes a lot of sense, but still leaves open a lot of powerful picks. I mean, as we were talking about, we were talking about before, like Winston still being really good. All right, word. Vesuvius bans Mercy. Didn't know Vesuvius knew ball like that. That's insane. That's crazy. It's crazy knowledge.
No, they're just doing exactly what I do in my comp games. I always ban. I pick same three bans every single game. Moira, Mercy, Sombra. I don't want to deal with one of those three characters. That's got to be what they're doing here. But moving a little past the bans, we can go ahead and start looking at these starting lineups. And first of all, for the Void Ravens, we're gonna have Nerve and Pengui on that DPS line with Hunted on that tank, and then we're going to have Lynx and Golly G-Wagon on that support. Golly G-Wagon, incredibly strong on that Wu Yang pick, so I would be looking for that. And you can see right here, too, Hunted looking at that Wrecking Ball might have a little something to do with the ban that we saw recently.
It's interesting, too, because Void Ravens might have shot themselves in the foot a little bit with that that Hammond ban, because if Hunted wants to play it, I wonder if the rest of the Void Ravens are like, no, not yet. Wait. Hold the line, brothers. But that's the Void Ravens lineup, right? Who are they up against? It's going to be Vesuvius. And on that roster, we got Tappa and Gravelot as our DPS here. Happy Dragon out there in the tank. Another Hammond. So they do know ball. Nobody is allowed to have fun this go around. Ham Sandwich, goated name if I ever heard one. And then Balake is going to be the support to wrap it up there.
You know what? That might be Balake. You ever see the substitute teacher skit from Key and Peele?
Oh my gosh. Now I get it.
That might be Balake. I don't know.
Midwestern kind of showed out there for a second. Like, oh yeah, dear Balake, dear. I heard about them playing out the Alawies and all that with them lasers and what have you there. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff there.
Oh my goodness. But with us seeing these two lineups, I can't help but notice that neither of the Vesuvius support players put a Wu Yang as their preferred hero. And I'll say it again because I casted them. Golly G-Wagon is incredibly strong on this Wu Yang pick. So I would expect to see them making some really big plays. I expect to see the Kiriko Wu Yang lineup come out here. Of course, now that I've said it, it's going to be something the complete opposite of that probably.
Well, we will have a chance to see as we start moseying on into the game here. It's map 1 here between Void Ravens and Vesuvius, of course, starting here on Li Jing Tower. As we mentioned before, bans are up there on the screen for any latecomers. No lock-ins for the heroes just yet, but we're keeping an eye out for that Wu Yang.
I'm expecting I was going to say either the Diva or the Winston. This is what I've seen a lot of, this comp that Void Ravens is playing right here. I've seen a lot of this. It's either the Sojourn or the Reaper. Those seem to be the two swappable characters in a sense, but Tracer seems to be a mainstay. And I imagine that Hunted is going with the Diva, predicting that Vesuvius is going to go with this Mauga composition. And the Diva is just going to work far better going into that Mauga than the Winston would in this circumstance.
Just being able to stand in front of the Mauga there and just consume all the bullet, which Mauga is able to hand out in droves. So Happy Dragon's going to have to stay pretty careful of that as both teams, wave high to each other. Start staring, looking at that point.
Ooh, Hunted taking down Gravelette there. That is not what you want to see if you're the side of Vesuvius. It should allow the side of the Void Ravens to advance.
Health bar's looking pretty low. Benki picks up Ham Sandwich, takes a bite out of that, and for the double, finds Balake. Tappa's going to take the tumble over because Happy falls as well. It's going to be a quick cap from Void Ravens as a quick double pickup from Pengi kind of sets it all off, and they're just able to take control of the points, and now Vesuvius has to try to find a way back in.
it's just really a good job from the Void Ravens of not taking any of that poke damage from that Malga. See, we're already forcing the swap out because the D.Va is just eating too much of the damage, right? So now that you have the Zarya, it can deny a little bit more of that. But again, I'm going to point out there's just an absurd amount of poke damage that's coming out from the side of Void Ravens right now.
Now we turn on the laser beam. The D.Va slip and tumble, but Rockets are able to get them back to where they want to be. Penguin has another flank option here, so Vesuvius needs to keep both eyes open. It looks like they found Golly G Wagon, but Penguin immediately comes back with the revenge kill. The Reaper caught out of position. It looks like Vesuvius's push is not going to go the way that they wanted to. As the Lucy and the Zarya are the last people standing, they're going to get pieced up here, but not before Hunted actually takes a tumble. Nerve too. Vesuvius kind of turning it around. Happy Dragon fully charged on the Zarya, manages to take control of the point.
That bubble onto Ham Sandwich really did a lot of work right there, just denying that kill for a little bit longer, allowing the Lucio to build up a little bit more ult charge, get that damage off, and you're really seeing what that resulted in. We have an absurd amount of ultimates available for both sides right here. Dueling Kitsune rushes, double support ults, double tank ults. This is going to be crazy.
There's the first Kitsune rush. Link still holding on to theirs. Tappa looking for the TP, and the D.Va bomb is a little bit off the mark. Vesuvius maintains control of the space. And Ham Sandwich has their beat drop in response to the Kitsune from Void Ravens. Tries to boop off the D.Va, but it doesn't quite nerf. Nerf picks up Gravelette. And Penguin again looking for this flank in the background. Forced to take the rewind back. But it doesn't look like any more health bars are dropping. You know, as I say it, Nerf finds another one. Keep your heads down, Vesuvius. There's a sniper amongst you. But they come out in droves. Nerf gets immediately picked off the moment they try to use their ultimate. So it's just rough all around. Vesuvius cleans house once again and maintains control.
Oh, and that's such a heavy investment from Void Ravens. You used basically all your ultimates that you had available to you, and you made no progress, and all Vesuvius had to do was use a sound barrier and a Kitsune rush, which they also have again, by the way. Blockade 90% on that Kitsune rush. So you essentially didn't get any advantage out of that.
And it's so tough too. Vesuvius, this trade that they made with that Zarya is paying out dividends. Gravelec has picked up there a Death Blossom from Penguin. It's not really able to find too much. It forces Hunted into a bad spot, which gets them picked off. Langston Nerve looking for a couple of trades as Penguin gets blown up by the Happy Dragon. Still feeling pretty happy about that. Clock is ticking up for Vesuvius. Point is contested, but with Blocky going down, doesn't look like they'll be able to hold on to it for much longer.
And this is the fight right here if you're Vesuvius. You need to win this fight because there are no ultimates available for Void Ravens. You have your grab, and you've got that Kitsune rush online. If you can just catch one or both of these supports in this grab and manage to get the kills on them, that will confirm this map for you.
It's going to be a Sombra swap here for Grave. Hold on a second. A Kitsune rush as well from Balaki, and a massive grab crashes in 3 people. Happy finds the kill on one, but the other 2 seem to have slipped back out. Health bars are low and looking pretty digestible. Tappa takes a bite. He takes another one. And now it's just going to be the Reaper left alone at the point, forced to shadow form away. But no matter how smooth with it you are, you cannot run. He can try to hide, though, as Vesuvius claims the first part of the map here in Lijiang Tower.
And I mean, just great recovery from the side of Vesuvius, getting that Zarya swap, and it was really the fight where Void Ravens just dropped in like 4 or 5 ultimates and didn't really do anything with them. That was when they really lost that map, because they just couldn't recover. Their ult economy just could not recover in time. They ended up winning a fight with no ultimates, but again, the side of Vesuvius just always had some sort of ultimate response for them. So it was really an important fight there right in the middle that Vesuvius took.
Happy Dragon has been looking pretty good so far. 10-5 for Vesuvius, and feeling pretty comfortable on the Zarya as we've seen. I mean, the switch, it's like I was talking about earlier with you, how I'm always so interested to see how willing people are to try new things. So it gladdens me to see Happy Dragon try something and just have it work out so well.
It did work out incredibly well, and I mentioned that Golly G-Wagon really good at that Wu Yang, they don't really play the Lucio that much, so it's not going to be possible really for the side of Void Ravens to match, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter as the trades come through.
Golly G-Wagon is going to end up taking the tumble, but Penguin avenges their friend. Happy Dragon not able to help out, and Hunted is going to be the Zarya that ends up on the winning side so far, able to show up here for Void Ravens as they weren't, or Vesuvius rather, wasn't quite able to crack through.
And I mean, it's going to be tough here to get the same level of value that a Tracer can on the Sombra pick. You kind of have to be like in the back line and managing to get a hack off on one of these supports if you want to get like an equal level of value, but that's not going to help seeing your Zarya go down so early.
It was crazy. Vesuvius tries to walk up in there, but Nerve just puts 2 shotguns to their face and they get picked off. Luckily, Gravelot's able to find a pick of their own. The Sambo looking for a little bit of a flank maneuver, not quite yet ready to ult, but still going for a bit of last hits. Hunted looking pretty low, forced to use the bubble. It's gonna earn Vesuvius a chance at the table as they start to contest on top of the point. Death Blossom comes out from Nerve. Does it find any last hits? No, but it softens everybody up quite a bit as Nerve is the only casualty for Void Ravens. 3 people dead from Vesuvius, so Void Ravens maintain control of the point.
Good ult combo there from the side of Void Ravens. You do see that EMP come out and take down Hunted immediately though, so good response from Vesuvius.
Tappa as well, getting their 2-piece on top of Void Ravens. Going to be the Tracer alone to defend, but she is not enough to keep Vesuvius from their prize. Finally, they'll be able to cap, but not before Void Ravens took a hungry 74% in this second part here.
One good thing here, if you're Vesuvius, is it just costs you an EMP, so now you have, all these ultimates. You have this.
Yep, the Kitsune, the Death Blossom, turned off pretty quickly. I mean, it gets a pick, and Balake is able to find Hunted, so no tank for Void Ravens means that they can't quite push up the way that they want to. Vesuvius maintains control of the doorway here. Penguin tried to go for something cheeky there. There's the beat drop from Ham Sandwich, but it's not there in time. It got delayed. Happy Dragon ends up going down. Hunted finds the kill. That is the go button for Void Ravens as now they look for a fight on top of the point, forcing off Vesuvius from the space. Health bar's looking pretty low. Golly G-Wagon finds the last punch on top of Tappa. And the Lucio on for Vesuvius is not able to escape their brother, the Ditto. They have lost, and that's going to earn Void Ravens the point. Surging forward is Golly G-Wagon, just looking to create a little bit more space for the Void Ravens.
No real ultimates coming up just yet. We're getting close on that Death Blossom of Nerve and Gravelette coming up on this EMP, as well as the grab coming up for Happy Dragon. That's going to be the big key here for Vesuvius. You got to get up to one of these ultimates in the next 5%.
96, 97, clock is ticking, all roads lead to Void Ravens securing the objective, so it's gonna bring us to a 1-1 here at Lijiang, which means we gotta finish this up.
Yeah, I could be mistaken, but I think Gravelette threw themselves off the map with that translocator.
Oh no. It's on tape.
I could be mistaken, but I don't know how else you kill yourself as Sombra, so that might have been what just happened.
It was for to sync up your respawns. Yeah, for the next part of the map. Yeah. It's 300 IQ Shadow, I promise.
Oh man, the Reaper of Nerve doing a fantastic job right now of just not really dying that much. It's an underrated skill, but if you die less than the other people, you're usually able to output more damage. It's huge insight from me. I know that's what I'm here for.
I mean, yeah, you might try to downplay it, but that's quite literally what it comes down to. Look at this angle here. Speaking of Reaper, Gravelette finds Penguin in the 1v1, and we know Tap is hanging around in that backline. Ham Sandwich goes for a boop, not quite able to find it, but it is going to leave Hunted alone, getting hunted by the rest of Vesuvius. As it looks like Gravelette's going to find yet another pick. This Tracer for Vesuvius putting in quite a bit of work, as Vesuvius will be able to cap that initial point.
And Gravelette taking down Penguin again. Upset about that translocator mishap on the last map. Just said, hold on, I'm gonna just play the Tracer character and absolutely dominate this map, unless I do that, of course.
Yeah, shotguns to the face. If you die, you can't DPS, and if you live, you can do quite a bit. Nerve's here to show it to you right now. Lynx actually picks up Happy Dragon, and in the corner is a Reaper, and nobody puts Baby in a corner. Actually go all the way to the timeout. Void Ravens clean up the fight and re-secure the point.
Still, nobody super close on ultimates. Gravelette, 86% to this Pulse Bomb, but a Pulse Bomb is just going to be so hard to land here. But Nerve going down to Happy Dragon is going to be a big go sign for Vesuvius.
Green means go. Engines are revving. Grav has the bomb, but where can Vesuvius put it? They throw it out. It sticks, but Valkyrie already picks off Hunted, so hey, it's there for aesthetics alone. Golly G Wagon is going to end up taking the rough and tumble as well. Vesuvius, with nothing but a Tracer Bomb and a Dream, end up cleaning up the fight, taking back the point, and at nearly 30%, they're feeling pretty good. It's already neck and neck.
It absolutely is. Vesuvius having such a high Kitsune Rush advantage, I think, is going to be major here. The only thing you have to watch out for, though, is Nerve's Death Blossom. You just cannot get caught out by it.
There it is, the Death Blossom, and in fact, somebody was caught out, but Tappa finds a little bit as well. Bodies hitting the floor. It's a crazy trade, but ultimately benefiting Vesuvius here, because who's here to even take the point? Happy Dragon playing the role of the bouncer, making sure that nobody is able to get into the bar. Ultimately, Vesuvius are able to maintain control.
Great response there from Vesuvius, just handling that ultimate very quickly. And Gravelette winning the 1v1 again against Penguin. Been pretty dominant on that Tracer this map.
Oh, there's the grab, as well as the Lucio. Beat drops both sides. Kitsune Rush for pulling out all the stops. And for what? Golly G Wagon picks up grab. It's a rough go for Vesuvius. Hit a gutsy boot from Ham Sandwich, but he's going actually insane. The rest of Void Ravens are going crazy around him, because as Ham Sandwich was trying to grab himself something to do, it looks like Vesuvius all forgot what was happening, and Void Ravens peck at their corpse.
I mean, of anyone to getting that Lucio out there is not necessarily a bad one to finish off. And here we are. Penguin gonna have to get a big kill with this Pulse Bomb. You don't want Happy Dragon to get in and land a huge grab here.
It is a scary thing, especially because Vesuvius is going to be desperate to take back that point. Grabs looking for their opportunity. There's the grab, and there's the bomb, and there's the pick. It picks up Lynx, but Happy Dragon is going to be the call in response as Penguin finds them. Hunted. The Zarya remaining is going to be doing a lot of damage with that microwave beam, and unfortunately, the rest of Vesuvius is not able to escape it. It's another team kill for Void Ravens, and now Vesuvius has got to think of a new way in.
It looks like their way in is going to be run face first with a Malga and shoot gun shoot
Forehead.
hard.
Love that.
Yeah, right. That's the entire plan right now. But Nerve having a Death Blossom, that's going to be tough. All you have to do is wait out this Cardiac Overdrive, and you should have a crazy big Death Blossom available to you.
Nerve already finding a lot of value. We're waiting for that Death Blossom. Vesuvius are down 2. The Malga's pretty low. The Death Blossom completely whiffs. But hey, it's a spacing ultimate. It means that you're not allowed inside my house. Try as they might, Vesuvius cannot break through, and Void Ravens win map 1.
I mean, that was a really good Blossom in the fact that the supports just couldn't make it to their Malga to try and heal Happy Dragon at all. But realistically, Nerve won that fight, taking out both of the DPSs for the side of Vesuvius at the beginning of that fight. It was pretty much over with at that point. 2 supports and a Malga probably not going to be enough to take that fight.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. Vesuvius just wanted to go for that forehead running gun engage, but Nerve was just waiting around the corner with a couple of shotguns and said, I love running and gunning. Yeah, here, I got a couple right here for you. Boom, boom, and just completely leveled out the competition there.
Absolutely. That was the main thing that I noticed across that entire map, was just the 2 Reapers were just trading out deletions of people over and over again. Like, I think people were just getting caught out because they didn't realize how fast they could just die, because the Reaper was just doing so much damage to you on top of the other 4 players shooting at you at the same time.
It turns out people die when they're killed. It's a you know, it's hard to do, and it's like you said, Shadow, if you're not alive, you can't DPS. So making sure that that's a fate you avoid is something that Vesuvius wants to maybe give a go at going forward. But in terms of momentum, both of these teams are pretty even across the board, and I think we saw that too, even just in the first map between the two of them. At this stage in the game, are you building in the plan in your head to bounce back? Like, how do you respond to Void Ravens here?
Honestly, I think your two options here are either to run it back, go to like a flashpoint map, or you do something completely different and you pick one of the escort maps that's more dive centric and you force a dive type composition. That's your two responses here, and it really just depends on what you're more comfortable with as a team, I feel like. And so if Vesuvius is more like, hey, we like running this diva, we like running this dive, then they might go watch Point Gibraltar. If they're more along the lines of, no, we can do this, we just had a bad map, then they'll go something like Suravasa.
And speaking of maps, I believe we know which one is going to be coming up next here. Like you said, Shadow, watch Point Gibraltar is going to be the pick here from Vesuvius. So it's going to be that complete shakeup that you were looking for.
It's the only map we have in the pool that you absolutely have to play dive on. Like, there's not, you can't, I mean, I suppose you can. You can do whatever you want. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I was like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to show up to your job on time. But, it's preferred that you do so. So in that case, it is preferred that you run Winston or Diva on this map, or even Wrecking Ball if that is more your speed. I think Ball is a little bit harder to do than the Winston or the Diva though, but it's still definitely doable. So that tells me that Vesuvius thinks they can outdive the Void Ravens.
And you know what? You bring up that ball. It was banned last game by the Void Ravens. So knowing that the ball could be a good pick for a dive comp for Vesuvius here, they're going to have that in their back pocket. I almost imagine Void Ravens is going to have a response in pocket, knowing that they have a ball player themselves. Like, what's the strategy there?
This also gives me a really good idea of what they're probably going to do for their ban, or at least what I would do if I was the side of Vesuvius. If I were to be Vesuvius, I would definitely ban Diva here. We saw Void Ravens do a very good job with the Diva on map number 1. Diva is probably one of the better tanks you can play against a Wrecking Ball if you're not going to mirror the ball yourself. So I would take that option away from the side of the Void Ravens. Don't allow them to have the option of playing Diva.
And now we wait with bated breath. Vesuvius, Shadow has given you the solution to your problems. It's going to be a Freya ban from Vesuvius. So still a solid, very strong DPS to take off the board. But now I think you and I are both thinking at the back of our heads, ooh, that Diva could be right around the corner.
It's just kind of another option, if you will, that the Void Ravens have if they start losing in the ball trade. It's just, you can play the Diva and be just as effective, and very effective against the Wrecking Ball as well. So that was the only reason I was saying that. I think here Void Ravens are probably going to go with, I don't know. I'm just going to guess Brigitte. I don't know. I know there's a lot of teams like banning that Brig on the dive-centric maps, so that's going to be my guess.
Knowing that she's able to just play ball and keep that backline super safe. Yeah, I wouldn't blame a Brigitte ban at all in the slightest. Void Ravens are thinking hard about it, and it is going to be that Brigitte ban, just like you called out, Shadow. You can see into the future. There it is.
Sometimes. I'm like that hero from South Park, Captain Hindsight. I have really good hindsight.
Oh. They say hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But with no Brigitte being available, it kind of makes the backline significantly more diveable, so it should provide for I would say a more entertaining map here, because you don't have Brig just shutting down all the fun, if you will.
Fair enough. And knowing what these players like to play, I feel like too, we take the Brigitte off the board, but we know for a fact that if you take a look at the picks here between the two supports, how many of them want to play? Maybe it's a band that says, yeah, we just you know, no, come on. We'll both of us save ourselves the trouble, but we'll have ourselves a bit of trouble on our hands. Because you know where we're headed, Shadow?
Where?
We're headed to map 2, baby. That's straight where we're going.
And also, to add to that point, playing Brig is like playing Orisa, right? People don't just go around and are like, I want to play Orisa.
I love
They're
Orisa.
Like, I can do Orisa things if need be. I can do that. And it is looking like, just to start with, we are going to be seeing that diva composition from the side of the Void Ravens that we saw last map. Nerve going to be on that cast, though. I don't dislike that pick. It can kind of stun Happy Dragon when they try and dive this backline.
Feels like Void Ravens very much knows ball. Wrecking ball, that is, and exactly how they want to shut that down. It bodes a bad omen for Vesuvius here. Watch Point Gibraltar. Map 2. Void Ravens sit here with a point above Vesuvius as they won map 1 there on Lijiang Tower. So Vesuvius, the defending team, definitely going for a lot of divey shenanigans here, and Void Ravens ready to retaliate. I wonder what their pathway in is. Oh, geez. Well, hold that thought, Shadow, because already the ball is getting active. Just immediately trying to harass that backline. Looks like Happy Dragon is very happy to be in the ball again.
No, absolutely. Wrecking Ball players are built a little different, kind of like Lucio players. I always say that ball players are the Lucio players of tanks, right? They are just different breeds of characters.
They just love getting crazy, slippery, slidey, movement-based gaming. Big fans, but earlier Nerve got a little bit picked off. It kind of slows down the push here from the Void Ravens. And again, Ham Sandwich finds another pick on top of the support of Void Ravens. So it doesn't look like there's a big push happening anytime soon.
No, absolutely not. Void Ravens do get the cart at least under the bridge here, just to give us a little bit of space. But again, it's tough. Like, I feel like too much focus is going on to this Wrecking Ball right now. It's hard not to, but at the same time, you need to focus down this Ana of Balake. That's the threat that you can take out very quickly if you're Void Ravens.
Void Ravens just still continues to have a tough time. The Ana, definitely the target. Balake is going to be on a most wanted poster, but how do you even get to the Ana? She's standing up there. She's got a guard hamster there as well.
She absolutely does, and I think the tough thing really is just Nerve having to play this cast. You don't really have much range with that, and you're just having to kind of walk in a straight line at the side of Vesuvius right now. Link's taking down Ham Sandwich is going to be a good entry point, though.
But now you have the ball coming in behind. Nerve tries to show face against it. Tap ends up falling down to Golly G Wagon, and this fight has gone downhill for Vesuvius trying to hold the line. Lynx is able to find Balake as well, so now it's Void Ravens coming through with a big push here and a high noon from Nerve as well. Damage on top of the hamster, but a fist for Grav is going to be what ends up pushing Void Ravens just a little bit further here.
Yep, just slowly moving that card along. A lot of ultimates going to be available for both sides here. I think the most threatening thing on the board, though, is going to be potentially a nano overclock, but not if you take down Tapa that early.
Oh, goodness. 2 people down already for Vesuvius, and making another one as the ball is not too far behind. It's going to be a good stand from Grav, but ultimately Pangui shows them the tracer difference for Void Ravens. They're going to go ahead and grab that first cap as they continuously push down that payload with 3 ultimates in pocket still.
Yes, they do. Double support ults being available is incredibly strong, as well as having that remech online. But like I said, Nano Overclock can potentially be a really strong combo, but look at this Ana just getting dove so hard right now.
Getting dove really hard, but has the support of their friends. Baby is forced to use their bomb. The Diva ultimate doesn't connect with anything. Meanwhile, in the back, it looks like Grab bit off a little bit more than they can chew. Mine's out from the hamster. Wuyong forced ultimate as well, but Lynx gets caught in the back blast. Looks like they were not able to get away. Happy's just trying to make themselves a little bit of space before they end up getting picked off. It buys Void Ravens a chance to get in further. The Diva goes straight to the back line, but an ultimate from Tapa Trying to see if maybe they can pick off any birds out there into Sky. They're going to find Golly G Wagon before they end up getting put down by the D.Va. Grab looking pretty low. They have the bomb in pocket, but nowhere to put it. And Hunted, true to their name, is just keeping the pressure on. Happy Dragon comes back, tries to take a bite out of Nerve, succeeds, and then gets out of dodge. Vesuvius are able to keep Void Dragons from getting a little bit too crazy with it.
Void Ravens do have this Kitsune Brush available, though. Going to drop that on the point. And this could be a bad moment for the side of Vesuvius.
Vesuvius trying to hold back, drops the beat to get themselves a little bit more time. It'll work because down goes the Fox Girl. The Tracer Bomb gets eaten by Hunted. Nerve with their own high noon finds Ham Sandwich, and now the ball has got no friends and is forced to roll out of there. And just to put a little bit of panache on it, Grav gets caught by the Tracer Bomb in the 1v1. Void Ravens continue the march forward.
Oh, I mean, that's exactly what you needed to do right there if you're Penguin. Landing that pulse bomb, that's like the ultimate Tracer diff right there. You force out the recall and then you stick the opposing Tracer. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely infuriating. But no ultimates really available for either side. There is a bomb available for Hunted. I don't expect that to really get much outside of a remake, though. So looking at a relatively dry fight upcoming here.
It is interesting to see that the D.Va ultimate is there almost for funsies. Just to be like, yeah, this is my second health bar and you all have to respect it. Void Ravens kind of get pushed off there by Vesuvius. Vesuvius was able to find a few picks, so they're able to stabilize themselves just for a bit. Happy Dragon hasn't moved off this ball yet, but it's been looking pretty successful.
They've definitely been doing a pretty good job of it so far. It's really just a matter of can the side of Void Ravens survive that initial dive? If they can, then they'll usually win the fight. But you see right here, Golly G Wagon goes down early, and that's going to just result in a complete reset.
Hunted is able to find the life of Tappa, but not before the damage is done. Void Ravens down a couple of supports. They're just not able to continue that push. Good target acquisition from Vesuvius, just constantly looking for Golly G Wagon and Lynx. Happy Dragon who waits above everybody like a spider on the wall. Except it's a giant hamster. That might be more terrifying. As the Hammond ultimate comes out, Baby D.Va forced out. There's the ultimate as well, but already you can see that Penguin and Golly G Wagon get picked off here. The support and DPS combo just not able to survive. Happy Dragon, he's got to be feeling as such, knowing that Vesuvius gets to hold the line here.
Like I said earlier, it's really all about that initial slam. If Vesuvius gets a kill off of their initial slam engage, that's pretty much it, right? There's nothing from that. But typically, when Void Ravens have survived that first slam, they've managed to turn that around and get a kill off of it. So, yeah, I would pay very close attention when the first slam comes in.
There's the Kitsune Rush, of all things, and a high noon from the Cassidy, looking for a target but not able to find it. Beat is dropped. Penguin finds Balake with it. Void Ravens still looking for a chance to walk forward. Vesuvius doing a pretty solid job at hurting them in, but not good enough. Grav got a little bit too cheeky with it. They have the Kitsune Rush available for Lynx as Void Ravens stop walking up with this point. Looks like Vesuvius is going to be taking a couple of steps back before their step forward. Kitsune Rush comes out from the Void Ravens, but doesn't look like they're actually quite ready to push in on it. There's the B drop 2 from Vesuvius. 30 seconds left on the clock. D.Va forced away. Vesuvius keeps chasing them out of their home. They're like, you can't touch this cargo. You're not allowed to have. What, are you gonna steal my car? You're gonna jack my car, man? Do you know who I am? Do you know what this is? 10 seconds left on the clock. Void Ravens just have to touch, but D.Va is forced inside of a house. Cannot find her own way out. Golly G Wagon falls down. D.Va rushing forward, desperate to touch, is able to get there. Now we get to hang out in overtime, but the health bars of everybody from Void Ravens is looking a little bit too low. Happy Dragon loops back around, ultimate in pocket. He knows where he wants to put it. There's the knock-up 2. D.Va ultimate clears the minefield. It's a little bit off. That's okay. Still is able to buy some time for Void Ravens, but it doesn't matter because Vesuvius is able to clean house. The staggering in for Void Ravens was just not strong enough to dissuade Vesuvius.
Yeah, Vesuvius doing a great job of just holding down that last point. I think they did pretty well on point number 1 as well. it was just they let the cart get into a position where if they lost one fight, it was going to be able to be steamrolled for the rest of the map. And I mean, I do want to point out, Hunted, no deaths yet, so doing an incredible job on that diva right now of just staying alive. Again, that very underrated skill I was talking about last map.
I mean, hey, if there's something that D.Va can do, especially Hunted D.Va, it is just kind of hang around. Look at all that damage mitigated to 9,690.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Good stuff. Winner in my heart. But unfortunately, getting funny numbers does not get you points in the game. And Vesuvius, knowing that they were able to halt Void Ravens, will not have to work as hard for this next push.
It's still tough, though. The Watchpoint Gibraltar is incredibly hard to break through this first point. And I think the difference here is it's hard. So Cass is diveable, yes, but I think it's going to be difficult to take down the Cass because of just how bulky / tanky this Cass of Nerve has been so far. So I would just keep an eye on that here.
So we're keeping eyes on the Cassidy. Vesuvius starts walking up with the point. We also have the Wuyong here for Ham Sandwich. So Wuyong Kiriko combination here. Going to be the supports for Vesuvius, just trying to keep Happy Dragon enabled, but also, you know, trying to keep themselves safe too.
Yep. Good job of that so far. Lynx on this Baptiste going to be able to do a lot of damage. And Gravelette taking down Penguin. Lynx trading out with Tappa immediately, though.
Void Ravens still maintaining control of the high ground, but there's a hamster here. Lynx pops themselves a little bit of a heal to keep themselves going. Immortality Field still available in case the hamster gets a little bit too frisky with it, but they're trying. Gosh golly gee willikers, the hamster is trying to force anything, but Hunted being right next to them just kind of stops the Hammond from doing what they want to do, it feels like.
It's just so much damage can be mitigated by D.Va, as we saw the actual stats say in between the maps here. It's just tough to break through that, and there we go, a couple of kills coming through for the side of Void Ravens.
Nerve does not have any trouble breaking through on top of anybody, is able to find not one, but two, maybe even a little bit more than that. Yeah, it's gonna be a three-piece. Put it in the box, brother. You get to take that home. This Cassidy is on fire, much like the gun there. Nice little fire effect. Big fan of that. Vesuvius was able to get that point pushed in quite a bit, but they're just shy of the finish line there.
Well, yeah, they did get it very far. The tough part here is that now you're going to have to deal with ultimates. You have some yourself, but again, just having to break through an insane amount of ultimates is very, very difficult. Gravelette missing on that pulse bomb there as well.
Yeah, and immediately picked off. Happy Dragon trying to make up the difference. Tappa's able to find Penguin, but unfortunately Dragon, as they were trying to force themselves out there, they just forced it a little bit too hard. It looks like it's going to be another solid hold from the Void Ravens as the rest of Vesuvius continuously gets pieced up and picked apart here. Tracer will be the only one to survive, but Happy Dragon immediately getting back into the mix. It looks like Void Ravens are going to have not one, but every single ultimate for this hold.
And Vesuvius is going to have every ultimate but that pulse bomb available on this fight, so it's going to be an insane exchange. Or maybe not, because Happy Dragon is already down.
Hamster down! Somebody get a tiny ambulance to get him back out onto the... Oh my god, Ham Sandwich is dead too. Doesn't look like Void Ravens is ready to give any kind of leeway here, as Vesuvius gets continuously picked off here, going in one by one it looks like. Or maybe Void Ravens is just out there ready to find their one after the other kill. If anything, this means that Vesuvius is just charging up that ultimate for Gravelette, trying to see if they can get the second Tracer bomb online. You gotta respect Void Ravens for being able to hold on to their ultimate, but there's the Wu Yang ultimate from Vesuvius to get the fight started. It does look like Nerve's gonna get picked up by the bomb. Happy Dragon goes in for a little bit more, and Tappa trying to see if they can land on the damage. The D.Va looking pretty low there. Forced to pop the ultimate, but immediately hunted out in baby form. Tappa's looking pretty sick with it, and now Vesuvius get to go in for a push all by their lonesome. Well, there is a +1 here, but she's not technically invited and gets forcefully evicted from the premises. Vesuvius is able to cross that threshold. It's time for the hanger.
It was an expensive fight, but that was last fight, so you had to win that. and Vesuvius doing a great job of that, throwing on that tidal wave onto Gravelette, just allowing them to run in and take Nerve down so early. We'd seen how Nerve had been just so dominant so far, but you have actually swapped off of that Wu Yang, so that combination is not going to be available to you anymore.
It's going to be a beat drop for him, Sandwich, once he gets that charged up. Vesuvius trying to make some progress on top of this point, but Void Ravens very firmly telling them that's not going to be happening today. With Tappa down, it does seem that Vesuvius is not quite keen on going for too much more. Crab's going to fall as well, and with no DPSs, that about wraps up that engagement.
It most certainly does. And coming into this next fight, looks like Vesuvius is going to have that Kitsune Rush online, whereas the side of Void Ravens have an Amp Matrix and that Deadeye going to be available to them, which could be a deadly combination. We'll have to see. It's tough to get kills with that Deadeye, though.
He won't be able to use the Deadeye if he's dead. Grab finds the pick there. There comes the wall from Lynx, but no targets. Lynx is not able to find anybody, the Kiriko either, up there on top Golly G Wagon, because Vesuvius is hiding underneath the pillar. Grab has the bomb available. Now it's just a matter of who do we put it on. Looks like Kitsune Rush comes out from Balake, and it does quite a bit in terms of keeping Happy Dragon motivated, but Tappa's gonna end up falling down in the meantime. Payload keeps getting pushed forward. Not a lot of resistance coming out from Void Ravens. The Cassidy caught in the doorway and told to get out of dodge. There's the mine drop there from Hammond, and the ball goes spinning in a circle, boops the Diva out, and forces out the ultimate. But the Diva bomb is able to catch out the Hammond, and she's back in action. Off of that, Void Ravens is able to maintain control of the point and force off the rest of Vesuvius. Now it comes down to Tappa to see if they can find a pick, but without the backup of their teammates, doesn't look like it. They're going to take a couple of unsteady steps back.
Oof, that ended up being such a huge Diva bomb coming out from Hunted. Just getting that Wrecking Ball off the field there just allowed that entire reset to happen, and now we're here in last fight territory. And you've got a Deadeye available to you going against potentially a sound barrier and an overclock.
But forced to drop out of that high ground nerve as Lynx gets pieced up by Tappa. They've got that overcharge, putting in a lot of work. There's the high noon from the Cassidy. It looks like it's able to put the damage down for Void Ravens to be able to pick up. Hunted, forever alive, but not forever alone, causing quite a nuisance out there for Vesuvius as they are desperate to try to get a little bit more across that finish line. Overtime we are in, and the game is paused. Lynx, unfortunately, had to go grab their DoorDash or something.
That's unfortunate. It's kind of funny that that's who we were on too, camera-wise, so we just saw them disappear right off the map. Just in time for overtime, you know? Perfect timing. That's when I always get kicked out of my games too, so, you know, I'm very accustomed to that wonderful timing that we just had right there for some bad internet.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wonder what was the order though. Do you think it was like tacos or burger, pizza? Who orders pizza from DoorDash? First of all, I'm gonna pause myself there. If you order pizza from DoorDash, I don't want to talk. I think that's kind of where I'm at.
So it could be a local joint if you're talking about like some pizza type places, local joints that don't deliver. That is a potential option. We're back in it though, in overtime, but Lynx immediately just left again. So, you know,
second
I guess
DoorDash delivery.
we got jebaited, one might say.
So the first DoorDash was for themselves, and then the second one was for the team. So, you know, realistically, Lynx is just trying to keep the team happy and fed and alive, and that kind of pairs in with what they do in their role, honestly. Yeah. So I think it's just good sports, a lot of good teamwork, I think, from Lynx there.
I mean, absolutely. That is the name of the game after all. Teamwork. A support player, if you will, supporting the team in various ways.
I got you, Mickey D's. The 20 piece? Yeah. With sweet and sour? You're darn tootin'. And we're back up. Overtime. Void Ravens, desperate for this push. trying to keep Vesuvius off of it. Happy Dragon able to find not one, but two. Tappa looks for Penguin. It looks like Void Ravens is not able to stop Vesuvius from making that last push through. And seems that Vesuvius will be able to get another minute 20. So close, yet so far.
Oh, this is going to be a tight and close finish here on this map. We should have at least 2 fights here as long as nobody just dies super early unexpectedly. And oh my goodness, we've got dueling Kitsune rushes available. Happy Dragon lays out that minefield right now. There goes the Pulse Bomb catching out Tappa. Oh, and there we go.
All right, Void Ravens here to stay. So there's your first fight, Shadow. It wasn't even much of a fight, it was a murder. Now we're gonna track down this hamster. You look delicious, put you in a stock, throw you against the wall. That's gonna convince Happy to get out of Dodge and does not want to stick around. Void Ravens, they have another shot here to hold. It's gonna be 30 seconds left on the clock.
And really same situation we just had a moment ago. Dueling Kitsune rushes, so those will probably just both go out on the point. Pulse Bomb does come out from Gravelette, but it's on a Diva, so no DMEC there.
Kitsune rush. Here's the high noon nerve looking for it. Cannot find a target. Unfortunately, 10 seconds left here for Vesuvius. They're going to make that charge forward. Tappa gets hunted. And there's the beat drop just a little bit too late from Ham Sandwich. Unfortunately, to save their friend, but it's here to save the rest of the team. Happy Dragon jumps onto Nerve in the back. Now we're trying to get freaky. Trying to get this Diva out of the mech. She all but obliges. Drop a bomb. It completely whiffs, unfortunately, but it is able to get Penguin in on top of Grab. Hammond tries to save their friends, but unfortunately Ham Sandwich and Tappa are not long for this world. Spin around that point as much as you want. Pengy's got a bomb for you. Get stuck, get picked off, and get